Malcolm Rodriguez was a fan favorite in the 2022 season, a sixth-round selection, an underdog story of an undersized linebacker beating all of the odds and finding a way to not only make it to the NFL, not only be impactful in the NFL, but be a true starter and one of, if not the best rookie linebackers in the 2022 season. Malcolm Rodriguez looked prime for a strong and long NFL career, but just 1 year later, many people do not talk about Malcolm Rodriguez at all, and he has all but been forgotten by the NFL media and a majority of the Detroit Lions fan base, and at this point is at risk of not being impactful at all and losing his role on the Detroit Lions roster. Now, today we're going to take a look at Malcolm Rodriguez, take a look at his rise to the NFL, his rise through the college ranks, his fantastic rookie season, and of course, the decline of 2023 and where he stands going forward within this Detroit Lions roster. Now, the first thing you're going to notice about Malcolm Rodriguez is that he is undersized. He is small. Staying at just 5'11", 232 pounds, Malcolm Rodriguez played his college ball at Oklahoma State, and if he was a little bit bigger, likely would have had some more opportunities, but really didn't have all that many chances in college due to his lack of size and a little bit due to just his lack of explosiveness early. Now, Malcolm Rodriguez was selected in the 6th round of the 2022 NFL draft. The 188th overall pick, the 6th selection in the 6th round was Malcolm Rodriguez from Oklahoma State. Now, Rodriguez spent 5 years with the Cowboys, playing in 60 games, being a Butt Kiss Award finalist in his senior season, as well as being named a unanimous All-American in the 2021 college football season. He led Oklahoma State to multiple bowl victories, including a New Year's Six bowl victory over Notre Dame, the number 6 ranked team in the country. He had a huge impact on the program, still as a top 5 player defensively in tackles as well as forced fumbles in his career, and he left a lasting impression at OSU. Now, Malcolm Rodriguez in 2018 actually started as a safety with the Cowboys, where he had 83 tackles, 5 tackles for loss, 1 passes defended, and a forced fumble. Now, Malcolm Rodriguez did play a little bit Malcolm Rodriguez did play a little bit as a freshman as well, as in 2017, he did play in 9 games and had about 11 tackles, but due to the fact that that was primarily a special teams contribution, I wanted to skip right to when he started playing and started to have an impact on the defense. So that year was 2018, where again, he had 83 tackles, 5 tackles for loss, a pass defended, and a forced fumble. He followed that up with another year at safety in 2019, where he had 103 tackles, 7 tackles for loss, a sack and a half, an interception, a touchdown off that interception, as well as 3 passes defended, a forced fumble, and a fumble recovery. In 2020, Malcolm Rodriguez officially made the move to linebacker, where he had 82 tackles, 7 tackles for loss, 3 sacks, 3 passes defended, 2 forced fumbles, and a fumble recovery, before following that up with a fantastic senior season where he had 130 tackles, 15 and a half tackles for loss, 3 sacks, 1 interception, 5 passes defended, 4 forced fumbles, 2 fumble recoveries, as well as a touchdown. Malcolm Rodriguez was named an All-American that season, as well as a finalist for the Butt Kiss Award, which of course is the best linebacker award in college football. Malcolm Rodriguez then went to the NFL Combine, where he did grade out with poor size, being just 5'11", 230 pounds, but put up 36 reps on the bench press, which was the best of any linebacker at the Combine and one of the best linebacker metrics to ever be put up at the position. He graded out with elite speed with a 4.52 40-yard dash, great explosiveness with a 39.5-inch vertical, as well as great agility with a 4.13 shuttle, walking away from the NFL Combine with a 9.48 RAS score, meaning not only was he an elite playmaker in college with elite statistics, but Malcolm Rodriguez was also an elite athlete for the linebacker position. So why did Malcolm Rodriguez go in the 6th round? Why did Malcolm Rodriguez not get drafted any higher than he was? And why was he continuously overlooked in the draft cycle? Well, Malcolm Rodriguez fell to the 6th round almost entirely due to his size and length concerns. His scouting report has a ton of positives top to bottom about his game, but when you look at the negatives, you look at the weaknesses, it starts off with, well, he's undersized. It then goes to, well, his arms are a little too short. It goes to, well, he's not the biggest guy and can't get off of blocks. And really everything that they talk about for a negative is almost entirely related to the fact that Malcolm Rodriguez is a small linebacker. Now, despite that, many analysts and many NFL scouts said that Malcolm Rodriguez was probably an early day 3 guy, right? Super productive, super athletic. And while the size will be a concern, he is still a guy that can certainly be impactful on a defense and a special teams. So the Detroit Lions and Brad Holmes decided to select him in the 6th round of the NFL draft after he fell even farther than most analysts had projected. Now, Malcolm Rodriguez came in and was immediately impactful. He was a star throughout training camp. He was really good throughout the preseason and even started week 1 for the Detroit Lions as a 6th round selection. Malcolm Rodriguez would go through his rookie season putting up 87 tackles, 8 tackles for loss, 3 quarterback hits, 1 sack, a forced fumble, a fumble recovery, and 2 passes defended. He was, again, one of, if not the best rookie linebackers from the 2022 class. He was a fan favorite in Detroit. He put up good numbers, and despite being just 5'11", Malcolm Rodriguez was on the top of the world as he was one of the best young linebackers in all of football. Sure, the pass coverage left a little bit to be desired, but there were a lot of great qualities, and there was a player that could be built around. Then we fast forward to the 2023 season, where the Detroit Lions are fresh off of drafting Jack Campbell in the 1st round. Derek Barnes is taking massive steps forward, as well as Alex Anzalone continuing to improve in his leadership role. Jalen Reeves-Maybin returns to the team, and all of a sudden, Malcolm Rodriguez takes a back seat in the linebacking core. He finished his sophomore campaign with just 21 tackles, 1 forced fumble, and 1 interception that did come in the NFC Championship game, but only because Derek Barnes was injured on the very second defensive snap of the game. Malcolm Rodriguez has showed time and time again when he is called upon and is relied upon, he is able to put up good numbers. He's able to be impactful and able to make the defense better, but over the last couple of years, his usage has declined significantly. From his rookie to his sophomore year, he has been used less and less and less. And unfortunately, I don't think that's a trend that's going to reverse. Right, taking a look in between his rookie and 2nd year, in his rookie season, Malcolm Rodriguez played 614 defensive snaps. That's 57% of the overall defensive snaps taken by the Lions. But again, fast forward that to 2023, and that number is down to just 120, being just 11% of defensive snaps for the Detroit Lions. He isn't being utilized and is actively being taken off the field from the Detroit Lions defense, despite being impactful every single snap that he gets. Now, taking a look at the linebacking core, as I mentioned, Jack Campbell, the 1st round linebacker, is looking to take a large leap in his 2nd year and be even more impactful than he already was, which isn't saying a whole lot because he was already a linebacker putting up 100 tackles, a lot of tackles for loss, and a couple passes defended. Alex Anzalone is continuing to excel in his leadership role as the captain of the Detroit Lions defense as he put up strong numbers every year. Derek Barnes is coming off the best season of his NFL career, while Jalen Reeves-Maybin has seen a resurgence in his usage, being a blitzing linebacker, a coverage linebacker, and really a utility tool on the defensive side of the ball, who again isn't going to see every single snap, but is going to see a lot of work in certain packages, whether it be as a blitzer or as a pass coverage specialist. So considering the fact that the Lions often play a 4-2-5 with just 2 linebackers on the field and a lot of defensive backs, considering the fact that Jack Campbell and Alex Anzalone are going to be the starters, that Derek Barnes is going to take a very solid amount of snaps as well, rotating with Campbell and Anzalone, as well as the fact that Jalen Reeves-Maybin has become the specialist blitzer and coverage guy, Malcolm Rodriguez has lost his role. Malcolm Rodriguez no longer holds a significant role within the Detroit Lions defense. And because of that, I do think that the Lions could potentially be looking to move Malcolm Rodriguez to another franchise. Malcolm Rodriguez is not a bad linebacker. He is not a bad football player, and he is going to impact any defense that he is a part of. But unfortunately, the odds that he is a strong part of the Detroit Lions defense is not very high. Now, when I say that the Lions might be looking to move on from Malcolm Rodriguez, I do not think that they are actively shopping him. I do not think that they are going out and saying, hey, look what we have, this star, young rookie linebacker who put up all of these numbers as a rookie and just isn't getting the chance here. Come and get him. I think it's more of an opportunity that, hey, if a team is really struggling at linebacker, if they really need a player and they're willing to offer a third-round pick for Malcolm Rodriguez, I think the Detroit Lions would be inclined to at least listen to offers if they were to arise. But again, I do not think that they will actively be shopping Rodrigo just because of how talented he is and how young and cheap of a contract he provides. Malcolm Rodriguez is arguably the best depth linebacker in the NFL. He is a player that, when called upon to play, makes an impact every single time. And although I don't think he will see much playing time this year for the Detroit Lions, that doesn't mean his role in the future could not be improved upon. That doesn't mean when Alex Anzalone leaves in 2026, potentially, that Malcolm Rodriguez won't jump into that role. It doesn't mean that if Derek Barnes decides not to re-sign next year, that Malcolm Rodriguez won't take a step into that role, right? The Lions linebacking core is deep and young and very, very strong, but contract negotiations go sideways all the time. There's a chance that Derek Barnes won't be back. There's a chance that Alex Anzalone won't be back in 2 seasons. There's a chance that Jalen Reeves-Maybin won't be back in a season or two. So despite Malcolm Rodriguez not having the immediate impact his second or third year, there is still a chance that Rodriguez could develop into a starting linebacker, could be a cheaper option when, say, Derek Barnes' expensive option comes around. So although the 2024 season might not be as impactful as his rookie year yet again, I do still think that there is a good chance that Malcolm Rodriguez could develop into an impactful player in year 4, despite having that 2-year gap on his resume. So with all of that being said, that is all I have for you guys today. That is kind of the rise and fall of Malcolm Rodriguez, where he sits right now on the Detroit Lions roster and where he looks to be moving forward within that roster. With all of that being said, though, that is all I have for you guys today. Let me know down in the comments below what you think about the Malcolm Rodriguez situation, where you want to see him play, and whether or not you want to see him play over some of the guys that are starting on the Detroit Lions defense. I'd be very curious to hear your guys' side of the story. But with all of that being said, that is all I have for you guys today. If you have yet to subscribe to the channel, please go down below and do so. We are shooting for 4,100 subscribers by training camp. We have a couple of weeks to get there. And if you've yet to subscribe, please make sure you do so. It helps the channel out a ton. Hit the bell notification so you never miss a daily Detroit Lions upload. But that is all I have for you guys today. Thank you all so very much for watching. And until next time, and as always, go Lions.